Alright guys, so ever since we did those reviews on stuff like the Union ones and the Off-White UNCs, I've always known that there was one shoe that we missed, a shoe that cannot be denied in terms of its influence and its uniqueness on the market. And it's actually a shoe that is near and dear to my heart because I used to own this shoe way back in the day. I'm going to tell that story in just a second. But today in hand, as you already saw by the title and the thumbnail, we have the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott, arguably one of the most influential sneakers of our time, and one that has been the subject of much popularity, controversy, and such. So, let's jump in because I'm very excited for this throwback. You really don't see any pairs of these, especially pairs that are directly from the sneakers app. That is just something that you most likely will not find at this point of the game. So before we jump into the shoe itself, let's go ahead and jump into the packaging because I know you guys want to see what an authentic pair of Travis Scott Jordan 1 from the sneakers app looks like in the flesh. So let's jump in to the box. As you can see, it's pretty much a regular Air Jordan 1 box, except for the fact that it is completely brown instead of the usual black. That is the size tag. These are a size 10, which is my size, which is so sad that I don't have a pair of these for myself. But maybe one day, if the channel blows out, I'll bring these back to the collection. Inside, you got this pink paper that has become somewhat of a classic for all Travis Scott sneakers. I believe all of the Jordan 1s have the same pink paper, and it does say Cactus Jack as well as a few of his famous emblems on the top. And then you got the Nike lid in brown as well. Nothing too special actually, just a regular Jordan 1 box for the most part, but it is brown with the limited edition wrapping paper. So, jumping back over to the shoe itself, and these are most definitely the inspiration for the famous Air Jordan 1 Mochas that came out the year after, I believe, one of the most classic Jordan 1s at this point. And this Mocha colorway really did blow up, mostly because of Travis Scott himself. So jumping into the other details, you got this big backwards swoosh, which is obviously the most noticeable detail on the shoe itself. Everyone loves that backwards swoosh, and it is one of the main reasons why the sneaker blew up the way that it did. Among the brown panels, we also have these sail colored panels. These are not like a pure white, but they are a little bit lighter of a sail than most Jordan 1s, I would say. As you can see, the midsole is also a sail. So overall, a brown and sail shoe. You really can wear these with absolutely anything, which is part of the appeal and why so many people wanted this shoe. Not only is it a very hyped up shoe that is worth so much, it also has a very wearable colorway, which makes it not only desirable but also wearable. Just a perfect recipe for a hyped up shoe. On the back, you got the black Wings logo, and then one other major difference with the shoe is that this Velcro on the back is not usually here on Jordan 1s. You usually have like a leather or a suede, but in this case it is a Velcro. There is a stash pocket behind that Velcro, as you can kind of see. And then on the upper, you can also tell that these are laced up with pink laces, but they also come with red, white, sail, and black. So lots of lacing options to choose from on this shoe, and you really can't go wrong with any of them. I do believe that the pink laces are the classic. On the medial side of the shoe, you can tell that this side basically just looks like a regular Jordan 1 from a distance, even though no Jordan 1 has this exact color blocking, but you can tell that there is no backwards or enlarged swoosh on this side like there is on the lateral side, which I think really makes the shoe pop that much more. I feel like if there was a backward swoosh on both sides. It would be a little bit overkill and overall would take away from the appeal of the shoe, which is a subtle yet brilliant shoe. On the front tongue, you got Nike Air in red, weirdly enough, and then you also have this Cactus Jack on the side in red. So if you were to wear these with the red laces, they would certainly match pretty well with that part of the shoe, even though that is not exactly the most popular lacing option. In fact, it's probably the least popular, but it still looks good. The insole, you just got a regular white insole, really nothing special at all. I would kind of expect these to have special insoles, but just an all white insole from what I can see. The bottom, you got a brown bottom, same as the upper, same exact mocha brown. And then also on the medial side, if you guys can't tell, you got Cactus Jack written alongside the swoosh. You guys can see that. I can see it in the camera, so you can too. Jumping into the other shoe, it's literally the same exact deal as the first shoe, maybe a little dirtier from driving or whatnot, as this is the right shoe, but same exact brown, and then that decal Cactus Jack right there. In terms of the quality on this shoe, insanely good quality. As you can see, that leather really does react to the touch, and you can really tell that this is a great suede. I can't really get it perfectly in the camera, but let's see. There you go. As you can tell, it is reacting to my finger's touch, and it really does that all throughout the shoe. So they really didn't cheap out on materials, as I would expect, because the retail was $190, I believe, and the resale is, well, we all know what the resale is on these, probably upwards of $2K at this point after fees. But the main problem with this shoe is the fake market is just so intensely good that it's hard to tell if you would ever have a legit pair. My trainer got really lucky. He bought them off one of my best friends for a steal. These were purchased for $700 straight after the release, if you guys can even believe that they ever went for that, which I know sounds absolutely insane. But they did go for that at one point. You can go back in the graph on StockX and see that they were almost like $600, $700 right in the beginning. For whatever reason, I guess pairs flooded the market. I do believe there was a decent amount of stock on these, but nowadays you could never be able to find a perfectly authentic pair confirmed or anything like that. So, sizing wise, not much to say, just go true to size. Really nothing to say there. Let me talk to you guys real quick about how I actually used to have this shoe. During the lootings in 2020, June 2020, I actually picked this shoe up. I sold like a bunch of my collection in order to afford it, and I very excitedly copped a pair for $1,400 brand new with no box. And then I ended up selling it like 9 months down the road, as I usually did back then with my shoes. And after I sold it, I ended up spending all that money on penny stocks that went all the way down to zero. Huge mistake on my part. I basically lost the shoes and the money, and to make matters even worse, the buyer actually ended up selling the shoe for like $1,600. So he made an enormous profit on the shoe, and I ended up taking a big fat L. So that was not one of my finer moments. That was probably my dumbest move in sneaker reselling. But it is what it is. We live and we learn. That is why I don't have my personal pair. And I guess I deserve it for being that dumb. But yeah, with that being said, not much else to say. I'm going to have another video on these dropping, comparing them to the most recent Travis collab, the Olives, and seeing like what changed and what's new. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Peace.